Hello, grade 6 families. My name is Joel Windsor. I'm the music director at Notre Dame Collegiate, coming to you with my ridiculously high quality webcam on my laptop. I just wanted to make sure I got an opportunity to share with you a little bit about the NDC band program and what it's all about. And as your students are going to be selecting here right now whether or not they're going to continue on in band or to do the other option, which is academic enrichment. So I thought I would make sure that I got an opportunity to share some thoughts with you directly. The first thing you should know is when students come over from grade 6 at Holy Spirit Academy or any other school to Notre Dame Collegiate, their schedules are pretty much already completely done with the exception of one option, and that is band or academic enrichment. Even the students who are involved in the intensive French program still have the opportunity to participate in band, which is really, really cool. So the challenge then is which one do you want to do? So I've actually sent home a survey. You can also complete it online. If you're watching this video, you're already on the right website to do that. So you can complete it online. The survey helps me understand whether or not your student is interested in band and how they're interested in band, or if they're interested in academic enrichment. So band happens at Notre Dame Collegiate every other day during the school day, and the blocks are around 70 minutes long unless we're on altered schedules for assemblies and such. Academic enrichment is the same, and it happens concurrently with band. Students who tend to take academic enrichment are the students who would benefit significantly from and probably require some extra guidance with regards to study skills and enrichment opportunities from the other classes that exist to make sure that their knowledge and learning is solid and foundational in those other subjects. The band program is more for some of the more academic students who really want to develop in their ability to think creatively and to think collaboratively. But music is most definitely one of those subjects where you are given systematic instruction on how to think creatively and how to think collaboratively and with a community-minded concept. So very much if you're interested in that particular kind of development, which is very much a 21st century kind of skill set, you want to be considering band. So make sure that now that you have that survey that you get it completed either online or in paper. I will be visiting your students. Should be tomorrow, I believe. You'll get this message on June 10th. So I will be getting the meeting with your students on June 11th to discuss this with them personally, and I want to be able to get a chance to get some feedback from you guys as well. Some frequently asked questions with regards to band. The first one is usually the cost. What does it cost to continue on in the band program at Notre Dame Collegiate? Well, for grade 7, we try to make sure that money is not an obstacle for participation in band, which means we keep the costs as low as we possibly can. Of course, there's always the instrument rental costs, and I prefer that students rent either through Long and McQuaid or St. John's. The most competitive seems to be Long and McQuaid with their insurance policy. Even if you were to back over it with your minivan, you can still have your trombone pancaked and everything replaced directly by Long and McQuaid if you have their insurance plan. If you rent through Notre Dame Collegiate, there is no such insurance plan, so you have to make sure you take really great care of your instrument. Those people who have larger instruments like bari saxophones or tubas, it's recommended you go through Notre Dame because otherwise you're spending $600 a year more on your instruments from Long and McQuaid. However, if you have that latitude, you certainly can. And for the larger instruments, I try to make sure every student has one for practice purposes at home as well. So all of that's there. The only other cost aside from the instrument rental and the maintenance, like reeds and such, is festival fees. And that, generally speaking, throughout the year, that's $30 to cover the entire year. Startup clinics might be included in that too, which would be a maximum of an extra $10. If we do any bonus trips, it's because the students have done exceptionally well at a festival and have earned that advancement opportunity, which point I would come back to you guys. And it would be indeed a bonus, not mandatory. It's a scenario for my grade 7s. If you're renting a second instrument because you're playing it, the student's playing it in stage band, or they have one at home and one at the school, you only need to pay for the first instrument. Your second instrument rental through Notre Dame Collegiate is free. So these are the different ways we try to make sure that the costs do not become an obstacle for participation. The other frequently asked question is with regards to time commitment. How much time does my kid have to put into band outside of school hours? Band program exists largely inside the schedule. The concert band exists inside the schedule. The only times that things take place outside of the schedule is for the concerts, and we only do two a year, one at Christmas and the other one at the end of the year in June. Uh, there might be the occasional day where I ask you to bring your students in early to school or pick them up late after school, depending on when we're scheduled at festivals, but I can't pre-plan that. The festivals send us the schedule, and then we make those adjustments accordingly. But I try very hard to avoid any of that, and so do many of the other festivals. They recognize that we need to avoid that kind of thing. The only other expectation is for band for students is to practice. And families can easily enable that by having a set aside location for students to play their instruments at home, one that doesn't make the dog howl alongside as you're playing and doesn't interrupt the parents who are doing the all night shifts kind of idea too. There's of course spaces available at the school to practice, but it's much more effective to get some practice time entered in at home. Uh, the other thing is that this past year, the Fine Arts Parent Association paid for tickets for every student to go to at least one concert with the Gift of Music series at the United Church in High River, which was really, really cool, and I'm really hoping we can duplicate that again next year because it provided a really unique listening opportunity for students. And so going listening is never a bad thing to music for music learning. So that may be an extra thing that happens as well. So far, all I've discussed is a maximum of 3 nights throughout the entire school year that would take you outside of the school's schedule. If you're involved in stage band or steel pan ensemble, that's a little bit different. So now here's what stage band looks like. Stage band is a band that usually includes saxophones, trumpets, trombones, guitars, piano, drums, bass guitar especially as well. And people who play in that group will be rehearsing once every week after school hours. And that group plays, generally speaking, rock and roll, some jazz music. Some people like to call it the jazz band. Some people who are familiar with the 30s like to call them the big band. It's that kind of concept. Uh, and we try to pick one day a week that already accommodates the other activities that students are doing. So we make sure that we confer with the sports programs at Notre Dame so that our band does not conflict with that as much as possible, as well as if I know when dance rehearsals are or when 4-H is happening. If I know that in advance, I try to avoid those days as well. Steel pan ensembles happen after school, and right now we have 2 different ensembles. One's a student group, and the other one is a community group, which includes adults and so on and so forth. We may restructure a little bit next year, but for certain, steel pan ensembles will be happening outside of school. And there is a little bit of a rental fee that goes along with the usage of that equipment as well. But the cool thing about that is the instruments are already here. You don't have to worry about carrying them around. And they're Caribbean steel pans. It's a unique thing. We're one of 5 schools in the province that offer this program. So definitely, if kids are interested in playing music, and then they should be getting involved in that class as well after school to get into some more of the more unique style of music that the school's music program has to offer. The steel pan ensemble is also relatively in high demand for performances around the community, so there will be some more performances with that particular group. Lots of people love that steel pan sound. When it comes to other activities and other expectations of families for music program, and most of it revolves around the Fine Arts Parent Association. So our main fundraising and main supportive group at Notre Dame Collegiate for our music program is the High River Catholic Fine Arts Parent Association. As soon as you become a parent, you become a member. You don't have to pay a fee. You just have to have a kid in music or drama or art or new media, and you're automatically a member of the Fine Arts Parent Association. Now, the Fine Arts Parent Association has helped the band program out in particular by purchasing tickets for the Gift of Music concert series, 1 ticket per kid, 1 show, and that's about it. But they've also helped out by helping us get speakers, microphones. They've helped out by getting the drama program lights, and pay for tickets to various performances in theater as well. They've gotten the art program some easels. They're a very supportive group for our fine arts programs at Notre Dame Collegiate. So we are asking that you get involved in the Fine Arts Parent Association, at the very least as a supporter, if you can't be an organizer yourself. We prefer that we have more organizers because, of course, many hands make for light work. But that is the best way that you can give back to the fine arts programs at Notre Dame Collegiate. Our schools' parent groups are strongest in these fundraising areas. So please make sure you get involved in that if you can. They will help us out with the purchase of new equipment in the band program when it's necessary as well. And one of the big projects that we might be looking at this coming year is the purchase of a practice room, so that we would actually have a sound isolated room set aside inside the band room for students to practice. We're one of the few band programs that don't have an official practice room, and we could really benefit from having that for our students. So that might be a fundraising opportunity for us. So again, if your kids are interested in the band program, then please make sure they fill out and saying so on the form. Even if your kid isn't in band, please make sure, or isn't going to be in band, please make sure you fill out that form, because I'm the one who makes sure that they get into the right classes. So I need that information there. And that basically covers all the information I have that are the frequently asked questions. If you have any further questions, please feel free to get in touch with me. My email address is jwindsor, that's JWINDSOR, at redeemer.ab.ca. And you can also get in touch with me at the school, 403-652-2231. My extension is 123, making it nice and easy for you. Thank you, and thank you very much for watching this video and for working through this with your students. And I hope you have a wonderful summer, and look forward to seeing you in late August, early September. Thank you. Have a good one. Bye.